Hello, home buyers out there. Today we are going to be talking about home viewing etiquette. As you start to shop for a home and you actually get ready to go out and look at homes, view homes in person, I want to make sure that you are prepared with the proper home viewing etiquette so that you can have a wonderful home shopping experience. You also want to make sure you're using good etiquette so that you don't offend the seller or any of the neighbors in your new future neighborhood or home. So I'm going to give you a few tips to make sure that you are on point. Tip number one is that you want to make sure that you schedule your home viewings in advance. This is very important, especially if a home is occupied by the current owner or maybe occupied by tenants. Sometimes some homeowners will have a rule where you need to schedule an hour in advance, even up to 24 hours in advance before you can see the home. You want to be considerate and abide by that rule because if a family is currently living in the home, they may have extended family living with them. They may have pets. They may have small children. I've even seen families with a newborn baby that are selling their home, and sometimes it's challenging to pack up a whole house so that they can leave and allow you to see the home. So just keep in mind that if a family is living there, to give them the proper notice so that they can get the things that they need to move out of the way and allow you to see the home peacefully without them sitting in the kitchen, that's a joke, waiting for you to finish viewing the home. So you want to give them the proper time to be able to exit so that you can see the home in peace without dogs barking or a crying baby in the background. That's a little joke, y'all. And then the tip number two is that you want to make sure that you drive by the neighborhood in advance of actually scheduling your appointment to see the home. I cannot tell you the number of times I've shown buyers a house only to say, oh, we love the house, but we hate the neighborhood. That should never, ever happen. That is a big waste of your gas money and your time. You want to make sure that you drive by neighborhoods before you schedule any showing to see the house. The neighborhood should not be an issue. You should know the neighborhood fairly well before you even schedule your appointment. So that is a very important tip. You want to make sure that you do that first before you even think about going to see the house. Just drive by the neighborhood first and make sure that you feel comfortable in the neighborhood. Tip number three is ensure that your children are supervised. If you have small children or even older teens that are looking at the house with you, you want to make sure that when you all visit the property together, that you keep your eye on everybody, especially the younger children. You don't want them playing with the homeowner's toys or taking things or touching things or opening cabinets, open a refrigerator, different things like that. You want to make sure that you keep your eye on your children at all times. And keep in mind, if the home is occupied, you're technically going through someone's personal belongings, and that can make people very, very uncomfortable. So you want to make sure that you keep your children supervised at all times so that they don't get anything that can actually harm them. So you want to make sure that you are aware of their whereabouts on your visit through the home, so they don't take anything away from the property that could be potentially even harming to themselves, because you don't know all of the items that someone may have in their home and how safe they are to go missing, especially in the hands of a child. So just keep that in mind. Tip number four is parking. You want to make sure that you park in a safe location. You don't want to block anybody's driveway. You don't want to park in the middle of the street. You don't want to pull up on the grass. Believe me, I have seen it all. So you don't want to do any of those things. You want to make sure that you park in a safe, convenient space where it's easy for people to still enter their home and get out of the home without being blocked in because of your parking. Even if you're just visiting for a quick second, you still want to make sure that you park legally so that you don't disturb the neighbors or the homeowner. So those are all of my tips for home viewing etiquette. I just found one more bonus tip that I want to share with you. This is going to be a bonus tip that the same thing is if you are bringing extended family with you, make sure that you bring maybe 1 or 2 people with you that you trust. A lot of homeowners and even tenants, especially if the home is occupied, you have to be considerate. The current individuals living in the home, they may not want a whole group of people walking through their house. I know sometimes people, first-time home buyers, if you have a large family, your mom may want to come to the home showing, your aunt, brother, sister. If you start getting groups larger of maybe 2 or 3, you may want to consider waiting until you at least have the property under contract. That way you can bring as many, more people with you, and it'll be more secure versus just your first time visit. You don't want to have the entire family with you because, again, if it's occupied, it is currently someone's living space. So it can make the current tenants or owners uncomfortable if there's a large group of people that are coming just to visit the house, even if it is just for a few minutes. So just keep that in mind. But those are all of the tips on how to have good etiquette as you are viewing homes this home buying season. If you have any questions about the home buying process, definitely feel free to reach out to me and let me know. I'm more than happy to help you with your home buying experience.